I've got one that can see.
Logic before authority. Hi guys, this is Daniel Alexander Cannon here on Logic Before Authority. And I've got an amazing video for you today. An amazing story and a truly amazing discovery. Something that has been fascinating me now for a while that I really haven't talked to y'all guys about. But now I have the person behind this discovery. And that's here with us in this, and I'll introduce him here in just a moment. But what the subject matter is this is literally a new discovery. It's a discovery of some type of unknown flying. We do not know yet for sure if it's biological, meaning it's alive, and we do not know yet if it is a man-made type of thing, or if it's something even further out than that. We're not sure. The person who discovered these, literally the worldwide person that gets the credit for discovering this discovery, is Dr. Roberts, and he lives out in California in what's the name of the place, Dr. Roberts?
Yes, Marina Del Rey, Los Angeles.
Marina Del Rey, yes. And I'm going to let him tell his story as to how all this started. And after he kind of gives y'all guys an understanding of how this has started, then we'll get into some video. We'll get in, and he's got maybe how many recordings you think of these things flying around?
In the last 5 years, over 4,000.
Okay. And he's a very methodical person, and he has them all filed and all categorized and everything, and 4,000 videos of these things. Now you say, well, why ain't anybody else recording them? It's because these things fly at like 2,000 miles an hour, and they apparently, and you'll see by the end of this video, you'll see they actually seem like they change sizes and change form maybe. It's really, really, really strange. And if you understand how the eyeball works, and that the eyeball has 24 frames per second, meaning your eyeball takes 24 pictures that it then submits to your brain for interpretation, you will it'll be evident in this video why people cannot see them. Matter of fact, we're going to show you a video of some people down by the beach with this thing flying around them within inches, and they don't even know it's there. It's just moving so fast that even if they thought they seen something, it's done so far gone that it's just incredible. This is a really incredible discovery. I don't want to hold it up too much more by any small talk. I want to get right to Dr. Roberts, the person credited worldwide with this amazing discovery, and find out how this all started and anything else the good doctor wants to talk about. Y'all guys need to hang around for this presentation, because this is truly one of the most fascinating things that I've come across in quite a while. And y'all guys know that I look into anything that we don't know about, or that we were not educated about, or that we were lied to about. And this is just something that not even it does not even appear that they even know about these things, meaning the people that run the world. There's pretty good indication of that they don't know. So with all that being said, let me introduce Dr. Roberts, and let him tell us a little bit about his story. Thank you so much, Dr. Roberts, for coming on and speaking with us about this.
Thank you very much, Daniel. I appreciate the invite. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in Los Angeles 65 years ago. I knew at the age of 5 I wanted to be a scientist. And at the age of 10, I knew I was going to be a pharmacist. And that's what I did. I went full forward. Opened up the first mail order pharmacy in the United States in 1986. It was a huge success. I retired in 2012, and I came across this discovery in 2017. A discovery where a friend here in Los Angeles were F-18s were flying around their house. I told them to go outside, record the jets. I got a hold of the camera video. I saw there were UAPs flying with the F-18s. I came to the conclusion that these things are invisible, but any digital camera can see these UAPs. I took that technology forward, and later that year in 2017, something very odd started to happen in Marina del Rey, Los Angeles. The government started flying around where all the boats are parked. They started coming in, flying circles every day for 14 days. And I started to record them. And I could also see small objects flying around, government choppers, the Army, Blackhawks, Apaches, the Coast Guard. And ever since then, I'm still recording. I'm still recording these
You first
UAPs.
thought these things flying around, you thought they were what?
In the very beginning, I thought they were dragonflies.
Dragonflies.
They had to be a dragonfly because basically it looks like a flat football and it has some type of wing silhouette to it. So it had to be, out of all the insects, it had to be a dragonfly. And I went out and I bought better cameras, and I picked up a Panasonic X1000 4K, 60 frames. And then I realized, no, these are not dragonflies. I looked at a lot of YouTube videos on what dragonflies look like, and I came to the conclusion that the government is chasing something other than a dragonfly. So these objects only show up when helicopters show up, and especially certain government helicopters. And it's been going on. So basically it started at late 2017, and it has not stopped. It's still going on to this very day.
You mentioned helicopters, but in some of our conversations, you said that these things will sometimes go up and investigate other things that are above about 150 foot in the air. Like, you can probably give some examples.
Yeah, that's correct. Through trial and error and recording thousands of videos, and because of my science background, I have like 200 college credits of science. You learn how to figure things out. So basically, anything that flies over 150 feet in Marina del Rey, and if you look on a Google map, you'll see these rocks, the breaker rocks in the front of Marina del Rey to attenuate the kinetic wave energy of the ocean. They call those the jetty rocks. That seems to be ground zero. That's where these, for whatever reason, as odd as it is, that's where these drones like to hang out. They come in and out of the water.
For your location.
Yes, and that's where the government spends a lot of their time hovering and flying in circles over the jetty rocks.
And I say for your location because, as you've shown me and as we're going to show people, these things show up and are filmed in basically any place around the world. They've been filmed flying with the Blue Angels, which we're going to show some video about that. They've been filmed flying around on the beach around people jogging. They've been filmed, they're basically, you can go to an airport and start recording in 60 frames per second, high definition, as high as you can do, and just record any air traffic that's going on. And would you say there's a pretty good chance, if you go back and look at it frame by frame, that you're going to find these things, Dr. Roberts?
I would say absolutely. Yeah, I did that when I traveled to Boston 3 years ago as an experiment. I recorded 30 videos of jets landing. And out of the 30, I caught about 5 or 6 videos, the ones with these small UAP. And because I thought they were dragonflies, I still call them dragons.
Right.
Just because it's
you got to name them something.
Yeah, it just seems like an appropriate name for now.
And it's interesting too, and we'll probably get more into this, but that footage that he's talking about of him going to Boston, we're going to show that too. We have that here for you as well. But you named them dragons, and when you're trying to analyze, me and you've had a number of conversations, and you're trying to analyze, one, if this thing is biological, or two, if it's mechanical in some way. You really have to ask yourself a lot of questions about these things, because you said that they seem to be focused around the marina jetty area, which is where the water meets the rocks and all that. You kind of have to say, okay, well, what things are like this, and what behaves like this, and like we kind of talked about before, I started saying, like, they kind of seem to act like, and they're not, but they kind of seem to have some behaviors of like bumblebees, because I don't know if any of y'all guys have ever known of the bumblebees, especially the wood boring ones that will bore into the side of your house, or maybe have a nest around. And if there's anything like another bumblebee, or really anything that flies in their territory, they're going to come up and investigate it. And if they see it as competition, they'll actually attack it. And there's other traits of these things that you could kind of tie maybe to bats, because Dr. Roberts, oh man, he actually recorded, he didn't know at the time he recorded it, but he actually recorded what sounds like, we'll talk about it when we listen to it, what it actually sounds like, but it's the sound that these, we'll call them dragons, that they're putting off. And he caught this at one time. And that made me think like what bats do with their sonar kind of thing, with their squeaking that they do. And it's at a frequency that we can't hear, and dolphins do it underwater. And then, so there's a lot of sounds, and not only sounds, but things that are around us, like these things. If one of these flew by you, you're just not going to see it because it's moving so fast. And we've done the calculations on based on the frame rate and the fact that you can slow these videos down and see the chopper blades just turning real slowly. And these things still zip by, make the chopper look like it's standing still. So we've calculate all these things, and you have to ask yourself, you're trying to relate it to things you know of, and insects and creatures, but then we also have the possibility that these things are not biological, meaning they're created by us, I guess, maybe, or there may be even some wilder truth behind it, and we're not sure. So what all the things mostly that me and Mr. Roberts are talking about here, it's more of us not knowing. We know they're there. Dr. Roberts definitely knows they're there. But we're more so, this is an investigation, and we're sharing the discovery and the investigation with y'all guys somewhat in real time. Because I'm sure while we're doing this, Dr. Roberts' camera is sitting right there. And he's probably going to be recording stuff while we're talking, knowing him. But
that's correct.
Because when he hears a helicopter coming, or sees anything online that says something's going to be flying by, he's on his camera. He takes this stuff very, very seriously. So let's
correct.
see. So you told me more about how you got started on this, and then we'll start looking at some video footage and images and stuff.
Well,
but there was an event that happened that drove you to realizing you needed to start recording.
Basically, yeah, late 2017, maybe October. Again, the Army and Coast Guard swarmed into Marina Del Rey.
You said that there were 3 Blackhawks. You told me a story about 3 Blackhawks coming right up through the valley there, flying low.
Actually, there were 4.
4.
That was February of 2018.
Okay.
but basically it was 7 p.m. in February, so it's nighttime. And 4 Black Hawks came into Marina del Rey, and they were on a serious mission. I'd never seen anything like this. The Black Hawk number 1 in the front had its headlights on, or spotlights, and it was lighting up the ground as it was flying over Marina del Rey, as if to say, get out of our way. It was very odd. And Chopper, Black Hawk number 3, was flying with its lights out, total pitch black. It was blacker than the sky. So the 4 of them basically flew over Marina del Rey and then went north, disappeared. And that was on a Friday night.
And how close were they to your location, Dr. Roberts?
Oh, within 1,000 feet of my balcony.
Yeah, I knew it was very close, but I wanted to point that out to the viewers, is that they flew right by his house.
Yes.
Now, Dr.
Yes.
Roberts lives up on top of a ridge looking down to the marina and beach below, so he's in the perfect perspective to see this whole marina and valley area here. So they flew right up through that area there, Dr. Roberts?
Yeah, that area, if you look on Google, it's a giant wetlands, a swamp. It was purchased by Howard Hughes like in 1930, and he kept it private. He never wanted anyone to live on it. So that's, to this very day, is why it's still a swamp, and it's a sanctuary for butterflies. So for now, it's untouched and it will be left alone. But that's where all this activity is happening. That swampland, Marina del Rey, and I live right there on the bluff. I have about at an elevation of 150 feet. So I look down on all the Marina del Rey. It's like I have a video in the sky.
Right.
Yes.
So perfect perspective. That's one of the things that have helped him be able to capture these things. So I'm sure that everybody's chomping at the bits to see some information about these. And what I've got is a few of his YouTube videos pulled up, which we're going to have the audio off, and we're just going to discuss it live. And then I have some other videos, and what Dr. Roberts calls, and what it is called, is interpolation, when you take all the images from a specific so many seconds and you overlay them together so that they look as one image. Like, as in this image here, you can see all these, can't see, this image here isn't that clear. It's not to show you what they look like at this point. We've got some better video of that we'll show you. But you can see all these little dots, and each one of these dots basically represents, that's another frame that was overlaid. And you can see that the helicopter is only one image, because these things flew by so fast that the helicopter basically didn't even get to move but a foot or two.
Yeah, briefly, I'm shooting 60 frames, so you see 6 images. So that's literally 1/10 of it. That's the blink of an eye.
Yeah, this is probably about 30 to, say, 45 images right here.
Correct. The second one in the background.
The one in the background. And so
that's
you've
like
got
40
45 pictures overlaid each other. And
Yeah,
it's
so
zipping
that's-
across the sky while the helicopter ain't zipping, because it flew flat past the helicopter so fast that the helicopter maybe it didn't even know it was there, depending on
Correct.
if they're
Correct.
using their flare cameras or not.
Correct. 40 frames, that would be 2/3 of a second.
Yeah, with the human, all this happened in 2/3 of a second, this flyby right here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the human eye would not even have seen this event happen. It's only through the invention of camera technology and the improvement of camera technology were we able to catch this, along with the audio of one of these things making a noise that's it's really freaky sounding, but y'all guys will hear it here in just a minute. So, before we start looking at a few videos, you have anything else you wanted to include yet?
Real quick, Real quick, every time one of these UAP drones or dragons, aka dragons, whenever they fly by, I call it a tag. And pretty much no matter who you are, no matter, I can't emphasize this enough, no matter who the helicopter is, you fly over Marina Del Rey, you're going to get tagged. They don't make exceptions. And again, anything over 150 feet will get tagged. So a parasail, if you're at the beach in a parasail, airplane banners, advertising, balloons, kites, birds, they all get tagged.
And he has videos that have birds flying and even insects on occasion flying in his videos, so you can see what a bird looks like flying by. And then these dragons that Dr. Roberts has named them zip by in the same image and show you the major difference between a bird flying around or an insect versus these things at 2,000 miles an hour, give or take, who knows. So the example, one good example of what Dr. Roberts was just saying is that they will go up and investigate anything. The image that you're looking at right now, this was Biden, I think, right, Dr. Roberts?
Yeah, 2000, a couple months ago, yeah,
When
2022.
When he came out to visit, he flew right by. This video was taken from your location.
Yeah, yeah, right over LAX, the airport.
Yeah, right off his front balcony. So let's back this up to basically the very beginning here, and I'll just kind of let this play here, and you can say or instruct me whatever you want to say, Dr. Roberts, or do.
Okay, there it goes, right there.
Yep.
There goes tag one.
Did you miss it?
It's okay if you missed it. It's okay. It's very common.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
good news.
So
The good news is you'll learn it fast.
I think this is it right over here on the right-hand
Yes,
screen.
Yes, sir, it is.
What it's going to do, because I have seen this, of course, is it's going to fly right by these two ospreys, I think right over the top of them maybe, and then it's going to come and fly right. It almost looks like it's flying through the blades of the presidential helicopter. Okay, so this is it over here to the right. So let me play this a little bit more. Okay, you can see it now. You're going to need a big screen if you're on a telephone or something other. You can cast this to, they call it casting, to a bigger screen in your house if you have a television that has like a smart TV or something. Or get on your computer so you can see this, because it is kind of hard to see on a phone. But the dragon is now right here. I'll back it up a few frames. You can see it's right above the ospreys. At least it appears to be from our perspective, and likely is. So, and then if I go forward with it, it moves forward. It's now right here. Moving it forward, it's going to come right across.
Just real quick.
Yep.
I do have a couple of videos where it flew by a telephone pole, so I estimate the size to be about 10 inches when in motion, and 10 inches is about the same silhouette as a pilot's helmet, just to put things in perspective, to help out.
Right. But then the strange thing that here in just a little bit we'll be talking about is the video evidence says that these things change size based on speed. Now, I know how wild that sounds, people, but you're going to see the video here in a minute, and what would you think? So we'll get to that. So you can see that the dragon is right here, and I'll move it forward one frame, and it's going to be right above this other helicopter right there. Looks like it's going to go through the blades. And then it moves across to the other side. Just like that. So let me play it in full motion one more time, and then we will continue on with the video here. There it goes, flying by. Zoom, gone. And it's moving so fast. See, because this video is in slow motion, guys. These chopper blades, just focus on the helicopters and look how slow motion. How much do you slow this down, Dr. Roberts?
to 12%. I use a movie maker. I'm not a professional photographer, so I do the best I can. I use the movie maker, and they give you the option of slowing it down to 12%.
So this is at, so there you have it. So this is at 12%. Okay?
Yes.
All right. So look at the helicopters, how slow the blades are turning and stuff. You can really see it on the Osprey.
Absolutely.
And there went another one.
Yeah, I think it made a U-turn.
Maybe made a U-turn, but they do come in groups too also.
Oh, they do. Yeah, I do.
So I'm backing this up now.
The largest I have is 4 on one video at the same time.
So if this one turned around, because we do have evidence that they do that, we'll be showing it to you. It flew across here, went out here somehow, assuming it's the same one, and turned around. And now it's coming back up this way, and it's right here. And if I move it forward, now it's here. And it's moving on up here. And all of this happens in less than a second, basically. That's
Correct.
12%. Yeah, we haven't even covered a second, guys. And this thing's flown by twice. Absolutely amazing.
Because the first one was also at the same timeline, I believe. Yeah, there it is, 7:42. Yeah, that's common for them to make a U-turn within 1 second. Very common.
Yeah, you can see the time thing right over here. See
Yes.
the bottom right-hand corner, guys. So if I back this up, let me just go ahead back over here. You can see it says 42 down here. So let's bring our dragon in. Okay. So our dragon is right here, and we're still at 42 seconds, as you can see. So now if I go forward, let him fly by, and then let him come back by. Here it comes back again. We're at 43 seconds now.
There you go.
And there he goes. So we're talking 1 second, all of that. Flying by, going 2 directions in less than a second. So that's why we say no one can see these things. You cannot see these things with the naked eye. If you got lucky, you might catch 1 frame with your eye, and then it's done gone. It's 1,000, 2,000 feet away. So you're not going to be able to see these unless you use a camera. And then go back and look basically forensically, like frame by frame, to find them.
Yeah, and binoculars don't work.
Binoculars don't work, yeah.
I've tried.
You got to have slow motion. You got to slow it down in order to
Yes.
get this to happen. Let's see what else we got in this specific video. Okay. There's your interpolation that Dr. Roberts put together for
Correct.
you. So if you come in this way, went out that way, loop back, come up this way, and crossed out that way in a second. Incredible.
That's right.
Absolutely incredible. So let's now maybe move on to another video. This is just showing. Let me blow it up here. This is just showing how this was recorded of the back end of a helicopter with the rotary spinning, and how close they come to the helicopter, and it looks like almost basically goes through the blade. It's incredible. So let me hit play. Okay, and then I'll move it forward slowly here. Okay, you can see it right here, and then it's going to move over here in the next frame that the camera catches, and this is probably at 60 frames a second. You can see it right here, right now, if you're on a big screen, and the blades are spinning, and it's right there. Don't know if it went through the blades, or if it can, or if it would be damaged, or if it would, we don't know. We're just witnessing what is happening here. And then now it's over here. 1 frame, it went from here to here, and then over here in 2 frames. No, excuse me, 3 frames, yeah. So, completely amazing. All right, let's see here.
And that was one of the videos I gave to the Discovery Channel. They put that on TV. They were impressed with it.
Yeah, he's had a little bit of recognition with what's going on. One of the most interesting ones, because I'm sure a lot of you guys aren't that impressed with Discovery, but although this is a true discovery, and we're talking to the man who made the discovery, which is I'm very, very thankful for, is maybe before we go to the next video evidence, which we're going to do, or video example, we'll go here. But before we do that, didn't you recently get invited out to go to the naval base and was it naval base or Air Force base?
Air Force Base. Thank you. Yeah, March Air Force Base, California, Riverside, California. I went out there in January this year, and then I was just there 2 months ago to give a lecture on UFOs. They are 100% on board, and they want me to come back, and I'm thinking of just making it a regular monthly visit there from now on. So I got to give them a lot of credit and recognition. They want to know about this. They want to know.
So Dr. Roberts is going to the Air Force Base to give them lectures about his discovery that they don't even know about.
That's correct, Daniel. I think I'm the only one that's, at least a civilian, that's ever been invited to an Air Force base to give this lecture.
I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah. So that's when we say UFO, you got to understand UFO is an acronym. It don't mean it's from Mars necessarily. It just means it's an unidentified flying object, which is really why he more like normally just calls them dragons. Plus it puts a name to his discovery. And when you hear the audio of these things, it's pretty wild. We'll get into that. Won't be long here. So let's cover this video, which is absolutely incredible. Now, you didn't record this, right?
No, but that one is Chicago Blue Angels. But because I understand the format and the psychology of their flight,
you suspected they would be there.
They would be there, and it's easy to find. Yes.
So this is an air show, and all the people are sitting out on the beach watching the air show.
Correct.
And while the air show is going on, one of these things shows up, but it shows up right here amongst the people. And so we're gonna show you that here. Let's So where this thing is going to start out from, the first place we notice it is actually over here behind this guy's leg, and it is very small, and we'll show it to you in a second. And then it's going to fly from here, and it comes over here behind this. I think it's this lady's back right here. Is that right?
That's correct. Right there at the bottom of the lady's spine.
And then it turns and comes up, I believe, right beside this lady here, like almost touching her, and almost touching this lady. It literally could have been about touching.
I wouldn't want to be that close to one.
Yeah, me neither, because we don't know what they are. Yeah.
No.
So let's play this through one time. And this is in slow motion, of course. You can actually see it. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and back up. Of course, you can see it there coming down, but I'm going to bring it back on down over here. Okay, I'm going to bring it to the lady's back. Okay, you're going to need a big screen for this to really see it, guys. Let me blow it on up here a little bit better. Make sure we're in the highest level definition I can. Yep. Okay, you can see a little spot behind this lady's back right above my arrow and above his arrow. There's a little spot right there. Now, if I move it forward, that spot jumps. And where it jumps to is right here by this lady's arm. And you say, well, that might be an insect. You'll see it's not an insect here in a second. Plus, an insect that far away wouldn't look like that. That'd be one big fly. But it's right here, and it comes from right behind her back. And if we back it up, so we go ahead and show that. Oops, that ain't backing up. Back it up. you can see it's going to jump over this way. Sorry, it's taking a second. I'm having to go screen by screen here, or frame by frame. Let me just hit play one time and let it. He's showing that. Let me find the spot where it's right by his back. Okay, I see what I need to do here. I need to get to the very beginning of the video to be able to show that part. Okay, so what happens is it starts right over here behind this guy's leg. And I'm just going to start going frame by frame forward.
It's the white dot right there on his leg.
Right above your arrow right there?
Correct. Yeah, let me move.
Not
no,
your arrow in your computer, but the one on the video over here.
Correct. It's at the bottom of the arrow. I'm sorry.
The
But
bottom
that white
right,
dot,
that little white dot right there.
yeah, and if I could just, in my opinion, just express why does it look white? Because these UAP, these dragons, they operate on high voltage. And basically, because it's behind his leg, you are seeing an X-ray image. It's giving off gamma rays. You're seeing an X-ray image of the vessel itself, of the dragon itself. So it's very small because it's not moving very fast.
And of course, a lot of things me and Dr. Roberts are talking about are, we don't know for sure about anything, but we're theorizing as to what we believe is taking place, especially with Dr. Roberts, based on, well, he's got 4,000 videos of this thing. And he's been watching it for 3, 4, 5 years. Been watching them, so it's based on a lot of evidence, not just from any one picture or any one incident. So let me move this thing forward.
Yeah, I call that when it's behind an organic object. I call those my X-ray files. And I do have other video where they fly behind trees and they show up as a white dot. Because the gamma rays, again, is just showing the silhouette of the dragon. It's that simple.
You can see that white dot is now gone. It was on the back of his leg.
Yes.
And it's moving across the screen heading towards this woman's lower back.
Correct.
So let's move it here and see if I can catch. Oh, here it is. Now it's this black dot right there. Well,
Correct.
It looks like a black dot.
Correct.
Right there. So let me put my mouse right below it. Let me move forward some more, frame by frame.
Which is, by the way, I just now noticed, theoretically, it should be it should be casting a shadow on the ground since it's so close to the ground. There should be a tiny shadow right in front of it. So,
you're right. Yeah, I'll look. Let's get out of.
Yeah, for what it's worth.
Yeah, we'll look for it here as we're going. So now it's moved again to right above my mouse again. And let's keep going forward. Now it's here. You can see the black dot here. Right there.
Correct.
So now we're saying it looks like as small as an insect. But then as we go forward, you'll see it gets a lot bigger. So let me keep moving forward. Oops, see, it jumped again. So now it's there. It jumped again. Now it's right behind the lady's back. And it's, from appearance, looks like it's getting a little bigger. That's all right.
That's perfect.
So right behind her back right here now, literally it's within an inch or two of her back. And the next movement it's going to do is right up here by this lady's shoulder. So let's watch it jump up there. He's just circling it there where it's currently at. I'm just going frame by frame in his video. Okay, there it made its jump. See, it's right here behind her back. And just one frame forward, boom. It's right here. And it looks more black now. It goes from white looking behind the person's leg to changing a little dark looking, like almost like a shadow. Then when it was behind her black shirt, it looked a little whiter. Now it's back to a little darker color. It's how you got to remember, this is a camera recording this, so it's how the camera is dealing with what it's seeing, just like our eyes do. Okay, and if I keep moving forward, now you see it's up here. And if I keep moving forward, now it's up here. And you can see nobody's moved here.
Nope.
It's basically, we're really looking at just about 3 or 4, 5 frames. Maybe, no, let me take that back. We're probably really looking at about 10 frames here. And you're normally talking about 60 per second. So this again is like a tenth of like a sixth, 1/6 of a second, exactly. Let's see, and then I think it jumps again. Yep. Now, here's where you can start to see something a little interesting. If you've got this on a big screen, you can see this. You got this, what appears to look like kind of like a tic-tac, we'll say. It definitely is larger. And now you can see something that gives you a hint of maybe part of what causes it to have propulsion, or what hint, which you'll see a little better in another video clip I've got here in a second, where you can see this a lot clearer and better. But you can start to see a hint of almost what we'll just call it what looks like a wing, okay? Or wings, but we can only see one from this perspective. You can see it. And it looks translucent in this image. But we don't know exactly still. So I'm going to go ahead and let this play forward here, because I think you got them flying with the Blue Angels here too, didn't you?
I sure do.
Yep, there they went right there. Here it comes.
So when you watch hundreds of videos, you start to see a pattern, and for some reason they like to fly with the Blue Angels. So right. I just focus my energy now on Blue Angel videos. And
your backyard or front yard.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So there you can see it right there coming by. Now it's not extremely close to the Blue Angels but this is how he called it one time.
Very common. Anyone could do this.
Yeah, this is not local to him. Just like, where was this video at? Was this
Chicago.
Los Angeles? Huh?
Chicago. Chicago's the number one city.
Okay, this was Chicago. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes to the Blue Angels, it's the number one city for dragons.
Now, here's your Boston trip.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
You want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing and where you're at?
Okay, so I go to Boston to go to a wedding, and I say, hey, I want to go to the museum. So I'm standing in the parking lot of the museum where the runway is, Logan Airport. These jets fly right over the parking lot. So I do an experiment, and I record 30 videos, and I go back and watch them. And out of 30, I get six videos with dragons flying around.
You say you recorded 30, so was that 30 different planes?
Yeah, 30 different planes, yes.
So out of 30, You got how many?
About 30. I had my wife, my nephew. We were all recording, and then I just reviewed them later. And out of 30, there were six videos with dragons.
And you call it, when they fly up and fly by crafts and things like that, you call it being tagged, right?
Tagged, yeah.
It's like they're doing, what'd you call it? Surveillance?
I think they're doing recon. I think they're reconning our aircraft.
Yeah, kind of like what bumblebees do, like we've talked about. You know how they want to rule the air, or something like that.
They want to know who you are. They're not based on assumptions. Like, we've seen you before, we'll give you a free pass. Everyone gets reconned. Yeah.
So if a craft flies by and goes down the beach where you live and then comes back, he might get tagged again.
Yeah, basically anything longer than 15 seconds is considered a new air vehicle, and you will get tagged again.
Okay. All right, so let me play this forward here. Actually, you can already see the dragon in the top right-hand part of the screen right here. Let me blow this up. It's up here in the top right. But as I go forward here on the video, I think I might have to hit play for a second. Yeah. So you can see, obviously, it flying by as he's recording this aircraft taking off. Now you can see the speed of the aircraft, and at its elevation, it's probably doing about 200 to 300 mile an hour. Correct. And these things, and this video is in slow motion, and of course I'm going frame by frame.
Yeah.
And you got it flying by, and you can see on a big screen, you can see it. You can see a little bit of a hint of what looks like propulsion or wings or something there.
Yeah, I want to extend my theory that, again, I do believe they're running on electricity. So those wings are basically electrons, plasma jets. There's no free electricity, no free energy in the universe. And also I base that theory on, I do have a video of one of these dragons flying parallel with the high voltage lines here in Los Angeles within a foot or two. So my theory is that they were recharging as they were flying. They just sucked electricity out of our lines.
Right.
Yeah.
And like you said, that's his theory, and he has his reasons for it because of all the observations he's made. And it may, we don't know yet. That's what this is about. And as a matter of fact, me and you talked about this, is that we want to call out to people that are out there watching this. Because this is a new discovery, we want to ask if someone, maybe some pilots or whoever, maybe one of those men in black, and you know the truth and you wouldn't mind sharing it with us, or whatever the case may be. If you have information or know what might be going on here, we would love for you to put that in the comments.
Can I say something right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So out of all the helicopters that are here, the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD helicopters fly the most, and they get tagged the most. So long story short, somebody listening has a friend, a brother, a cousin, a friend of a friend. They know one of these LAPD pilots. Please contact them and ask what's going on.
And you may just as well go directly to the source, which is Dr. Roberts. And his information is on his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel, which I have shown here, his YouTube channel is called Custodian File. Okay? And I would encourage y'all guys to go over there and subscribe. And because Dr. Roberts puts out new videos every few days. And I'm sure if he could get more eyes on this and help start getting more information, that he would even be motivated to give y'all guys more, because he don't put out, like I said, he's got 4,000 videos of this, and he's only put out, what percentage you thought?
1%.
1% of what he's got. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and just briefly, why am I doing this? It's a gift to humanity. As a pharmacist, I don't like to see sick people ill. I want to see them well, and I want to see humanity do better. And I believe if we walk up and look at this science and explore it, the new knowledge that we gain will help humanity.
Yeah.
It will. That's why. That's my motive.
This world is meant for us to discover, and that's everything. Yes. And not only what's in this world, but in beyond what we can see and hear, there are things there as well that we don't know about. And this is an example, a fine example. Correct. Now, we are looking now at inside the cockpit of a Blue Angel that is flying. You can look this video up for yourself. It's called Blue Angels looking forward, or Blue Angels ride looking forward. If you run that search on YouTube, you'll find this video. And in this video, is this an air show? I'm assuming, right?
They're practicing in Palmdale, California, which is Edwards Air Force Base. That was about 5 years ago. They're just flying around. They have a GoPro camera turned on, just having a good time. And because of the format, if you know where to look, like I said, just watch Blue Angel videos. It's the fastest way to randomly get to the front. That's what I did. This pilot is doing a 720 barrel roll. And I think they timed it during the barrel roll so the pilot would never see it. But what happens, in my opinion, a wormhole opens, about 10 dragons fly out first to ascertain the safety in the environment. And within a tenth of a second, they send back a signal to the organic ship. It's safe, please come on in. And that's what you're going to see right now. Go ahead and show them.
So obviously we're inside of the cockpit. We're looking forward. And he's going to do a barrel roll. And while he's doing this barrel roll, you'll see some really strange looking stuff going on right in this area. Like the beginning of it is this little dot of white light right here.
That might be the reflection off his helmet.
It could be, yeah, because I can see his helmet's yellow.
Yeah.
But then you're still going to see some weird stuff, and then you're going to see some things come from here, kind of like, which we'll show. Let's go ahead and start stepping forward here.
Yeah. We wouldn't be wasting your time on, unless we think this is like the best of the best. Real quick, the best diamonds out there, the most rarest and most valuable, are called red diamonds. And this what these videos are. They're red diamond videos.
Oh, definitely. Now you can see right there is the first. Actually, there's more than one in this image right here. The one that's closest to the screen, apparently, is this one right here in the upper right. Okay?
Correct.
But Dr. Roberts and I we've been talking for about a year now. But put it this way, these are out here in front of the craft as well. There's one right here. There's one right here. And there's several. We'll be able to see more. You'll be able to see a couple more here in just a second. And then one flies right by the windshield of the F-16. He's cruising at probably 400 or 500 miles an hour, at least 300. And this thing they're flying around and by him like he's standing still. So let's go forward, frame by frame. So now here we have this. We also still have another black dot right there. Black dot right there, black dot there.
A lot on the right side, yeah.
And one over here, too.
And again, in my opinion, those are all dragons. They're ascertaining the safety, and of course, they're escorting the safety of this ship. And I think it's an organic ship. I think it has at least one organic pilot. So that's how they roll, just like our aircraft carriers float with an escort around them. It's the same thing. These are all bodyguards. These dragons are bodyguards for the larger ship. It's probably like 30 feet, if I had to guess, 30 feet.
So you can see one here. I'm just staring at the screen. You can see one here. And actually, if you've got this on a big screen, you can see this. There's actually one here, 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 and they're harder to see when they're below this line here because of the background there. But let me step this forward again. You'll see all of those move. They've all moved to a new position. This one, we're not sure if this is this one that comes closer or if it's this one out here that comes closer and this one's actually already gone by. But let me move forward again. So now you can see that signature of some kind of propulsion or wings on this one here. And you can see, well, let me go forward one more frame. Okay, now you can see there's one here, here, here. think another one down close to the ground, but I'll back up.
Yeah, you can assume he's
Watch
shooting at 60 frames.
what's
So,
right there where my mouse is at. Watch it move.
yeah, if you enlarge it, it does get pretty close to the ground, and you can see I think you can see a shadow on the ground too.
One right there on the ground, right there, which we're not saying it's on the ground, we're saying it's in our perspective between the pilot's perspective and the ground. But you can see this dot jump in, this dot jump in, this one, and maybe back here, but let me back it up. No, that's a spot on the ground. But you can see multiples of them right there in between those two frames. So now let me go ahead and move forward to the next frame.
Yeah.
And now it's down here.
Yes.
It moves from here to here. And the others are around. And then that one moves out of perspective in between the next frame.
Everything happens all in the blink of an eye.
And that's it. They're gone. Wherever they're going back to. Are they going?
Did you see how fast the wormhole dissipated?
Yeah. What looks really strange out in the distance in front. You know, put it this way. Y'all guys know on my channel that I've spoken a lot about the times that I've ran and seen what I call angels above the mountaintops and by the water's edge when the sun sets. Many of you have heard this, so this is nothing new to you. So very unusual things, obviously, that exist outside of our realm, but they have the ability to come into our realm. And Dr. Roberts has the suspicion that this is similar in some way, that they're coming, he's calling it a wormhole, but they're coming in potentially from outside of our realm, you might say. And I agree, there's definitely evidence of that. Okay.
Now, if I could just say something before you leave this video.
You can say anything. This is your show, Dr. Roberts.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Daniel. It's going to sound naive, but to the powers to be, please do not delete this video from YouTube. We need this to study and for others to learn. This is how we're going to help humanity. So again, please leave this video alone. Do not take it down. I'm asking that, please. I'll share all my information with the viewers, with the authorities. Just please do not delete this video. Yeah. I appreciate that.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna download it for safety keeps myself.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that is really amazing to see what's just taken place in front of our eyes here. And then you go back and think about the other examples that we've shown here, you know, just amazing examples, you know, of this stuff. So
yeah, because that's the only wormhole I have found. I've watched 1,000 videos. So if you say, Dr. Robert, can you show me another wormhole? I can't. And so that's why it's important that this stays up and it's not deleted. It's the only one like it. It's a highly advanced video. I mean, compared to a couple months ago when they had the hearings in Congress and the one that they showed us on TV, in my opinion, this is 20 times more advanced.
You mean the Tic Tac video that they showed?
No, they showed they also showed a UAP flying by the windshield of an F-18 Navy.
Oh.
Remember, all UAP videos are from the Navy.
Right, they come from them when they are coming from the government. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and by the way, this let's just say that this video was given to the Pentagon. The Pentagon already knows about this, and they haven't taken it down. So, I guess in a way, that's a good thing. Thank you. I appreciate. But they do know about it already. So, and they've known about it for 2 years, so I'll give them credit that it's still up. I'll just say thank you.
Speaking of knowing about it, this image on your screen now should bring back a conversation.
It sure does. So
tell us about what happened here, because this is your recording.
Yes, what's happening here, 2019, early 2020, two government, two vessels, let's just say very expensive, high-tech vessels showed up. The first one being that orange one. It's called the Ocean Investigator. I call it the AKA the Tropicana for the orange juice. But the Ocean Investigator and its a sister ship, the Decisive, which is a white vessel, they showed up to Marina Del Rey. Here's the Decisive. They showed up. They wanted to know. They want to know what's going on. They want to know. They want to know what are these things flying around. And essentially, they were here for 9 months. They'd pull up to the beach. A week would go by, then they'd back up a mile. A week would go a mile, and then they'd back up a mile, and then a month would go by, and then they'd back up 20 miles.
So
And
they're
they kept
scanning
going.
the ocean floor, obviously.
Yes, they'd go back and forth, and they did that for a period of 9 months.
Why would
I
they be
mean, they
doing that at Marina Del Rey, um, which is already heavily documented as to what they think is on the bottom of the ocean out there? Why would they be coming back with this expensive equipment and scanning the ocean bed?
Yeah, this was some big money. I would guess this would be 100,000 a day per vessel for have a crew and to rent something like this. This
Oh
is
yeah,
this is big money,
and
but
there's two of them, and you said they had a little something else with them by the end of their investigation. They had a submarine.
yeah, on their very last day here, they pulled up to the Jetty Rocks, and yeah, there they are together. The Tropican, or the Ocean Investigator and Decisive, and the Decisive one has a crane, and they dropped a submarine in the water, and I happened to be here and documented it.
I think this is the video of yep. This is the video of them pulling it out of the water right here.
Correct.
I can
And
back it up a little bit. Let me hit
it
play
was
again.
it was in the water for 90 minutes.
See it lifting up out of the water, guys.
Yeah. And I have all 3 or 4 hours of the original video. I just trying to show you the
And that
message.
actually, that those right there's that's sped up a little bit, just so y'all guys that are watching know it's sped up. But it's lifting that submarine that was down in the water. You said for how long?
90 minutes.
And they
Evidently, I guess that's about as long as they could last.
now
I would assume.
how far away from the jetty is this boat right here now?
Oh, 1,000, 2,000 feet tops.
Okay, so right there, close to where you see these things coming up and out of a lot.
Correct.
Now you
Yes.
said one time to me that there was some kind of a, and I guess I should have looked it up with using try to you see it with Google Maps or something. But you said that there was some kind of, and I've seen it before, but like it looks kind of like almost like an underwater hangar uh, under the
Correct.
water right off the coast right there.
Yeah. Underwater hangar off the coast of Malibu. If you go to Google Maps and look at the ocean image, you will see an incongruous, what appears to be an incongruous structure about 2 miles wide. It looks like a hangar with a flat roof, and someone deliberately poured sand over the roof to camouflage it. It's extremely out of place. It doesn't belong to the rest of the landscape. So just pull up, yeah, too bad we don't have that image right now, but anyone can go on to Google and pull up that image.
It's right
For
off
those
the coast of what specific location?
Malibu, California.
Malibu.
You'll
Okay.
you'll see it. It's so massive. It's 2 miles wide. You'll see it underwater,
And I have,
five
yeah.
5 miles off the coast.
Wow.
And
Okay.
also,
So
real quick, right here, this is the Decisive. Uh, so last year, May of 2020, right there where the Decisive is parked, out of the blue, the USS Gabriella Gifford pulled up right there and stayed there for 6 hours.
so this is a
And
different ship than the other two.
the USS Gabriella Navy ship, just I believe it's a destroyer.
Oh, the destroyer. Yes.
Yeah,
So
parked
it
right there and pulled out all its best technology And one of the technologies they did, it's
So
probably
did they dock or did they set out in the
no,
ocean?
was to set right there, 2,000 feet from the jetty.
So about where this craft is at, where this ship is at.
Yeah, that's correct. And they did a thorough research. They were there for like 6 hours.
Wow. So you can see, and there's a lot more that has went on that we're never going to be able to get into in this video, but we don't go anywhere because we do have some more incredible things to show you. Let's see here.
Daniel and I are trying to tell you as much information as fast as we can.
Right. And get y'all guys up to speed on this. And hopefully y'all guys will help us spread the word about this by, like hitting that share button. That would be a real good thing. And then going over to his channel and subscribing, because we're going to be doing more things together, Dr. Roberts and I, as long as I'm blessed to that happens. These are, look at a few what's called interpolations, like we talked about before, of other passes when they've passed different helicopters and different things. Like this one goes straight up while the helicopter's flying and straight down just like that. And again, this is all in about a second or less.
There's about 40 frames, so
40
that's
frames.
two-thirds.
So two-thirds of a second, which is what this actually represents. So the helicopter ain't even gone anywhere. This thing's done came and checked it out and left. Because they're that fast.
Yeah, you can't scratch your face that fast. Two-thirds of a second.
Right. It's like the blink of an eye. Here's another nice one.
That's the LAPD, the black and white chopper.
Zoom right by him. Looks like it goes right in front of his.
Yeah, I think it deliberately wanted to. It was right in front of his flare camera. They have these flare thermal cameras. That's when they come in. That's what they use to look for these dragons. So that dragon went out of his way to. The message is, look at us. We're right here. We're 10 feet in front of you.
And you can't do nothing.
That's the message.
Mm-hmm. Another one.
That one's upside down. That's going to make it error. Same concept.
Mm-hmm. There's another good one.
There's a good one, yeah.
I mean, think about this thing is traveling. Let me go back to this image. I really like this one. Where it goes up and then turns and goes straight back down almost. This thing is traveling, and you can see the further apart the dots are, indicates it's traveling faster. Okay? Up here, the dots definitely get closer together, meaning it had to slow down to make this turn and come back down. But it didn't slow the speed. It looks like it slowed it by about 3/4 or 2/3 up here at the top of the arch, and then it just shot straight back down within all this going on again in less than a second. That is just incredible. What can fly like that?
Yeah,
nothing.
Seriously. What is going on? What is this? What is going on here? And that's a one of a kind. That's a rare one. It's one of a kind.
Yeah. And here's one where it either passed twice in less than a second, or either there were two of them.
No, I think there are two of them there, and that looks like it's an Osprey, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. I do have the majority of those videos are single dragons, but they do come in. They do tag these guys with two. Like I said, I have one video with 4 dragons in it at the same time. Yep. Look at this little guy. Look at this little chopper. I didn't think he got tagged. Look at that.
Yeah, it was like a little 2-man or something.
Yeah, something like that.
On it.
Yeah, here's a good science. Let me share something real quick. So the paracel, anything over 150 feet, through trial and error, obviously it took a lot of trial and error, but once that paracel gets to 150 feet, I know it's going to get tagged. So I have my camera on the paracel, but now the government has figured out that the parasail will get tagged. So fly in to synchronize with the parasail. And that's what's happening. These choppers are coming in to fly with the parasail to try to record these dragons. So I got lucky, the chopper, the parasail, the dragon, a
And
lot going on here.
you got two choppers, a dragon passing by, a parasail being pulled by a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of those. I have a lot of those parasail videos. A lot.
There's a nice one.
Yeah.
And this thing is, it's making this loop, or maybe this is two, but again, you're talking about a second, and it's traveling at 2,000 miles an hour. And if this person in this helicopter has no idea about these things,
Zero. That's a tourism.
it
Zero.
zips around them, and they don't even see it. They have no chance of seeing it.
No chance. It's the Coast Guard.
It looked like a civilian one. This has
Yeah.
got
Banners.
looks like a banner behind at least one, if not. Oh no, it's behind two of them. So you gotta, let me zoom it in just a little bit. You got a plane pulling this banner right here,
Yeah.
and then you got a banner back here
Yep.
being pulled by this plane, and of course, then you got this thing coming by that we're calling a dragon. And so let's go ahead and move on to. Yeah, let's move on to. Oh yeah, this is an interesting one.
Oh,
We're
boy.
going to
Now
show
you
you.
wanna-
We're going to
this is
show
gonna
you.
be-
Our finale here in a second is going to be letting you hear the audio of these things and showing you closer up, quite a bit closer up. But give this story. Go ahead, Dr. Robertson.
Okay. Okay. So this is the story. I still shake my head. Last year, the beginning of COVID, whatever that was, 2020, I had this strong instinct. I'm kind of a spiritual person. I had this strong instinct to go buy a new TV, and I'm like, I don't need a new TV. And this voice was, just go buy a new TV. Go buy a new TV. I don't want a new TV. I don't need it. The TV's not broken. Go buy a new. So after 3 months, I broke down. I tell my wife, look, we got to go to Costco. We got to buy a new TV. So here we are. I go there not to buy food or water. I'm there to buy TV, and people are looking at me. They were laughing because that was the panic of COVID. So I take my nephew with me. We get this huge TV into the truck. It was kind of heavy. And then, as luck would have it, the LAPD flies in from behind me. And I said, I tell my nephew Eric, I said, turn on your camera. We're gonna try an experiment. Because I knew I had a 30% chance of recording a dragon. Because wherever you see helicopters, you're gonna see dragons. In Marina Del Rey, this is all in Marina Del Rey. So this is what's going on. So he turns on his camera. It's a 17-second video, and here we go. You tell me. What do you think? Play the video.
Let's see if there's any way that I can make this any bigger. I don't know if there is.
I think I threw an interpolation in on this. I hope. I think I did.
No, but we'll play it anyways. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's what this is. Yeah, it's the interpolation. So
No, this is the slow motion.
The slow motion. Excuse me.
But it doesn't matter. Play it in slow motion and play it in real time. Here it comes, right over my head. And I'm saying, if you look up, you'll see the dragon fly over my head. How crazy is that?
And it actually flies over. You can't quite make it out as well in this, but is this
Because it's
video
already
on it?
gone. It's already gone by now. And again, that's the LAPD helicopter.
And is this on your channel too, so people could look at it if they wanted to?
No, I've been apprehensive about posting that one because I just I tell myself, people, this will be too hard for anyone to believe.
Well, when you've had, I mean, statistics and numbers are numbers, and when you know that if you go out meaning you for sure, at your location, if you hear a helicopter coming and you go out and you know for a fact that at least 50% of the time you point the camera and film a helicopter flying, that it's gonna be tagged by a dragon, then you got a pretty good chance of knowing how often they show up around helicopters. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. That's true. It gets even easier, but yeah,
Okay,
this is
guys.
this is a good rare picture.
This is a slow motion video. I'm going to back it
So,
up here.
so let me paint the picture real quick. What's going on? So the Coast Guard is right there. They're on their boat, their vessel at the jetty, and while I'm recording them, they put about 20 guys into a smaller speedboat to come to the beach, to storm the beach, which I don't understand what's going on here. Why are you putting 20 guys to storm the beach? And at the same time, I hear this helicopter, this LAPD coming up from behind me. So I quickly put one and one together. I said, oh my God, they're using the LAPD as bait. They told them to come in, they're going to get tagged, and then the Coast Guard's going to record the tag on their radar. So I swing the camera from the Coast Guard to the LAPD, and look what happened real fast. Dragon comes up right off the ground, goes total vertical. Or vice versa. No, I thought it was, well, either way, I thought it was south to north, but go ahead. Well, it was north to south, okay.
So I'm just letting his video play here, and he's panning backwards and forth. But I'm going to stop it right there and bring it back or bring it forward a few frames, which is backing it up in this situation. Oh, I can't do that with this one. Let me just play it a little bit. Ooh. Let me back that. Let me just come back over here so I know where it's at. Trying to pause it right there, for instance. Now, if you're on a big screen, I can't make this any bigger, unfortunately. If you're on a big screen, you can see a bit clearer image of what this thing, well, at least you can see what we're seeing. Let's put it that way. Okay.
I think I enlarged it when you played toward the end of the video. I think what I did was I enlarged it.
Okay. Let's see what we got down here. Let me just let it play.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me. That's when I enlarged.
Yeah, you're converting it to 360 so you can kind of do things. There you go. So there you can see those, what best thing to call them for now is wings, but we don't know for sure what we're looking at on each side, obviously. Go ahead, Dr. Roberts.
Yeah, we're pretty sure. To me, that looks like an extreme mechanical device. That's certainly not a seagull or a pigeon or a bird. It's whatever that is. It strongly indicates mechanical. And again, it's theoretically about 10 inches.
And we know what you're thinking, because we've had all these same questions, and we still do. It's like, okay, if it's mechanical, then we're talking about something made by man? Maybe. But we don't know. And, I've shared my thoughts with Dr. Roberts that, I don't really believe in so-called UFOs from other planets. But I do think that there are things that come across, like you mentioned about a wormhole. I think that there are things that come across, let's just use layman terms and say jump dimensions, or jump across the veil, or I guess is the best way to describe it. So we don't know. Dr. Roberts is leaning towards mechanical in some way. I am leaving the door for myself. I'm just leaving it open both ways for now. But I don't have as much experience either as Dr. Roberts with this.
And Daniel, I share a very similar view. Everything I say is not chiseled in stone. I just want to know what the truth is.
Right. Me too.
No matter what. It just, and the only way we're going to find the truth is with the help of a lot of other smart people. working together. That's how this is going to be solved.
Now I stopped this right here intentionally because this is when it was kind of like diving back down, and you can
Well,
see something
yeah.
that turns white on what we're calling kind of like the wing area or the rear. There's something like white that all of a sudden comes out of nowhere, and I could see where his mind would start going towards energy, and that thought process and stuff. And then you go back and remember the people jogging on the beach, and you see it's white behind the man's leg and a little teeny shadow going across the ground, and then it gets big and flies off. I mean, we're dealing with something really highly unusual and is a new discovery that has never been discovered, and Dr. Roberts is the 100% the discovery of this discovery and deserves all the credit that that is available for this, because no one would know about it, even the governments or the military or nobody. And of course, they want to know about it because if they can reverse engineer this thing, then we say, why? You say if it's mechanical and they reverse engineer it, well, who built it? We don't know. We don't have most of the answers.
And some people, Daniel, will say, well, we have DARPA, we have black projects, and that may be, but the thing is, if we built it, then why are we flying it in front of the president's helicopters, in front of the Coast Guard, in front of the Army, the Blackhawks, the Apaches? They send Apaches in all the time to look for this. Ospreys, the sheriff, all those agencies won't think it's very funny if we built this and we're teasing. It makes no sense.
Right.
It makes no sense.
I agree. It appears that, well, it appears the only reason they know about it is because of you and your discovery of them. And now that and of course it makes sense to go to the location where they've been discovered, even though they exist in many other locations. They're certainly going to come to your location and investigate. And if this is something that they controlled and they didn't want known about, they would have already knocked on your door. We've talked about this, and and told you, Mr. Roberts, we'd really appreciate it if you take those videos down and shut up. But that has not happened.
Yeah.
Right, Dr. Roberts?
No, it has not happened. That happened to a good friend of mine. He was the world's best psychic. Maybe we could talk about that some other time. But they knocked on his door twice and asked him, please do not make any more predictions. But that's another story. But
Wow.
all this work, after it comes with the help of other smart people giving me advice and pointing me in the right direction. But no, to the best of my knowledge, no, they have not tried to intimidate me or scare me off. Nothing like that.
You were a little nervous about that in the beginning, weren't you?
I was concerned. I still have a small concern, but I think also the way they look at it is, if we do that, then you, Daniel, and all your viewers are going to go, oh my God, this guy is correct.
Yep.
So, oh my God, it's just, so, I guess it's a balance. What they do, I think what they're doing for the balance is, how do we keep this quiet? They just basically, they issue orders, don't fly there unless you have to. So there's a lot less Army, Blackhawks, Apaches. There's a lot less, because every time they fly, I get new video.
Right.
That's how they're controlling it right now, the PR. But they still try to sneak in once in a while. We've already had some Blackhawks fly by. But it's a balance. But no, I'm happy to say so far they haven't reached out to me. And
hopefully it'll stay that way, unless they're wanting to give you an award or a check.
Well, I'd be more than happy to help them I'm sure there are some aerospace companies out there that are, well, I know for a
Oh, they'd
fact.
love to know about this.
Yeah, I know for a fact because I, I've seen the documents, and they want to know about these videos.
So,
So I'd be happy to help them if they were just say, "Hey, Dr. Robert, what can you do?" My advice: I have 4,000 videos. Put them all in a supercomputer, and believe me, instead of taking 50 years, we'll get it done in 1 year.
right.
We'll get it done in 1 year.
But at this time and at this point, Dr. Roberts is, I'm working with him some, and he's got a few other people, and he's doing some talking at some places and stuff. But at this point, there's still no identification of exactly what we're dealing with here, and no concrete answers yet. The most concrete that's ever been done is what you're watching right now. And I thank Dr. Roberts so much for allowing me to do this with him. I've got now something, and one of our last things we're going to do here is the audio. Now, explain how this got recorded, Dr. Roberts.
Okay. So I see the LAPD, the police are flying by, and I'm doing a standard recording, knowing that he's going to get tagged. There's a 80% chance he's going to get tagged. And then I pull the SD card out and I review it. And what I review is something I did not see during the original, and I did not hear it during the original recording. It's a one of a kind. It's a first. I don't know what to make of it. I thought maybe I had caused it somehow. I thought maybe I kicked the camera or kicked the tripod and it made a noise, but the video doesn't move. I didn't kick anything. So you just play it. You're going to hear a sound. It's going to coincide exactly with the dragon flying by. Um, let's just go from there. Feel free to analyze it, whatever you want to do with it. Go ahead.
We're going to hear two versions of this thing. One version is going to be slowed down, and the other version is going to be at full speed. Now, you can imagine this thing is something that moves very fast, operates outside of the rules of our normal environment. So the camera itself is what allowed, because again, there are certain cameras that can hear things we can't. And just like there are cameras that can see things that our eyes cannot see. Well, Dr. Roberts got lucky and picked up what possibly is the first recording of one of these things emitting a sound. Now, check this out.
Instagram, custodian file.
Oops, if I got the wrong one here, let me back up.
No, that's it.
That was that was full
in
speed.
real time.
Okay, let's listen to slow, and then we'll go back to real time again. Here we go. Now you could notice that it corresponds with the dragon being right above the helicopter. And it looks like the dragon is closer to the camera than it is to the helicopter, but it passes in between the helicopter and his camera. Right there, you can see it. Even if I just back this up, you can see
Just
it moving.
real quick before you move it. So these dragons, they do fly what I believe to be stealth mode, cloaked, when they don't want to be seen. When they want to de-escalate tension in the area with the government, they fly cloaked. And that cloak is basically an orange cloud, and that's what we're seeing there. That's why you don't see the regular silhouette.
Oh,
And the orange cloud mixed with the blue sky creates a brown tone. So we are seeing a brown cloud fly by because they're trying to de-escalate. That's as simple as logically.
that is interesting because in all the other videos when they're flying by, they're you can kind of see them. Well, you can see them better than you can than in this video. But
Correct.
then this happens to be the only video that you've gotten where they've emitted this sound?
No. Oh, yeah, the only one with the sound, right.
Okay. All right. Well, let's listen to it one or two more times, and then I'll take you and let you listen to the full speed, which is really just a squeak. But if you want something that is operating in a realm that is controlled by high speed, high electricity, high whatever it is, logically, like a bat would use sonar to investigate its surroundings. Now, we know this is not a bat, but we are thinking, what is it like that we are familiar with? And bats do that, They can see mosquitoes in the air while they're cruising around at 40, 50 miles an hour. So here we go. That is just an incredible sound to me. I could say so much about it. It's like, oh man, just amazing, Dr. Roberts. So now let's move to the full speed.
Instagram?
That was it. Did you hear that squeak?
Every time I hear it, I kind of jump out of my seat a little.
Say what?
I kind of jump out of my seat every time I hear it. It's just, it's forceful. It's
especially when you slow it down and listen to what it really sounds like.
Yeah.
Because not everything operates based on the speech cadence as we do, or even other animals and stuff. All creatures have their unique signature, and this thing, to hear it, you got to slow it down because you're dealing with obviously a creature that is based on, it does everything fast. So a couple more times so the people can hear it.
Custodian file. Custodian.
So there you have it. Just amazing information. Dr. Roberts, I'm sure we have whet a lot of people's appetite out there. Is there anywhere other than your YouTube channel that you would like for people to get a hold of you at if they have information that you might need to know about?
Well, you can go to my, I'm not a big social guy, but custodianfiles@gmail. And
Okay,
it is
so
on,
they
my
could
YouTube.
email you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, custodianfile@gmail.
Custodianfile@gmail. Okay, excellent. And
of course, just leave a comment and I will get back to you under YouTube.
yeah,
I'm not a big social media
if
guy.
you go over to his channel and leave a comment, you can be sure that he's going to get it. If you leave the comment on my channel, he probably will get it or see it. But this video is going to get thousands of comments probably. Somewhere between 1,000 to 10,000 comments, I would imagine. So it makes it a little bit harder to go through all those. So if you got some really important information, send him an email at custodianfile, and then go over to his channel and make a comment on one of his videos and tell him to check his email. That way you make sure we can get this information to Dr. Roberts.
Yes.
In closing, Dr. Roberts, what else would you like us to know today? Because we're certainly going to invite you back again.
Thank you. Keep in mind, this is not even 1% of my library. So if you have special requests, if you just want to say, hey, can you just show me Apaches only getting tagged, or Blackhawks only, or the sheriff, the Coast Guard, or can you show me Apaches with zigzag dragons?
So what Dr. Roberts is saying is if you're one of these smart people, and maybe you have information or something that's related to this, but you need to know some more information specifically, like, well, what did they do specifically when they're around Apaches? Or what did they do specifically in some other situation? Because you're scientifically trying to figure something out. If you get a hold of Dr. Roberts, he has all of his videos, let's just say highly organized, and he can produce for you whatever you might want to see related to this subject. And 99% of the information is not on YouTube. But again, custodian file, please guys, go over and subscribe to this. Me and him have been working on this stuff for a while. This is the first collaboration video, but I hope, and I'm sure we will do some more collaboration videos about this. And we hope that y'all guys will go over to his channel, subscribe, and share this video, because that, you know, that YouTube shadow bans channels, and you know mine's one of them. Even though I've got right about 100,000 subscribers, yeah, I'm still shadow banned. And the only way to really get this video to really go is for y'all guys to share it. So I hope you do that. Dr. Roberts, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on here today. I always love talking to you, but I'm so glad we were able to finally do this. And I honestly say thank you for sharing this with me and allowing me on the inside of what's going on with this discovery. And I thank you very much. And we'll, based on how this video goes and what the response is, I'm sure me and Dr. Roberts will be back to do some more discussions about it. And maybe I'll go over and be on his channel sometime. So
Awesome.
any final
Yeah.
thoughts there, Dr. Roberts? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I thank you, Daniel. I thank you for the opportunity. I do believe this information is important and needs to get out there. And I hope it gets it in front of the right people. We take this and give it the attention that's necessary, take it seriously, and let's research it. And let's be among the first to figure this out, what's going on.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Dr. Roberts, again, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all guys listening. Also, the viewers out there, thank you so much. And leave your comments and ideas you got and everything below. And if you really need to get a hold of him, do so. And please go over and check out some of his videos. He's got a lot of cool ones there. And he keeps them short and to the point. And with that being said, we're going to let y'all guys go. I love all of you. Our Father in heaven loves you. And we'll talk to y'all guys again real soon.
Yes.